Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Carmen and Britt here. Carmen and Darius Britt here with Wealth Nation. We are the founders of Wealth Nation, and we teach entrepreneurs and go-getters how to own their own lifestyle through the infinite banking concept. We had a ton of fun coming to you all live on Tuesday, so we're thinking about trying our hand again at live just to see how it goes. So for those of you who are joining us, interact with us, put questions and comments and all sorts of things out there. This is your time to interact with us live, so take advantage of it. And today we actually want to talk about how much interest should you charge yourself. We get this question a lot, so we just want to address it here, plain and simple, for you all to be able to have the answers.
Right. So when it comes to how much interest you should charge yourself, you should let the banks decide for you. Because what we're doing, again, is we always talk about replacing the banking function in your life. So if you're going to borrow money from yourself, you're borrowing it in the place of borrowing from the bank.
Yes.
So instead of borrowing from the bank, you borrow from yourself. Whatever interest rate they would have charged you for whatever item you're going to purchase, be it a car, a mortgage, or paying off student loan debts, whatever interest you are already paying, that's how much interest you should be paying back to yourself.
Yes. Yeah, what I feel like people do is they overcomplicate this process so much, and it's really just because of the learning curve. So not only are you trying to understand infinite banking, then you're like, how much interest am I charging myself again?
Right.
So just copy the banks. At every given time, we are replacing the banking functions in your life. And so with that, if you ever get lost, the idea is just to look at the banks as a guide to figure out exactly what they're doing, and you copy it. So like Darius said, if you are trying to request a personal loan from yourself, figure out how much the banks are charging on their personal loans. Is it 5, 6, 10%, whatever the case may be? I mean, obviously, we're not being so literal in understanding what your credit score is and what that factor is, but look at the window that they're charging and pick a number.
And a lot of times you can find that absolutely on their website. Go to their website and get this information. Or what Carmen and I, we do sometimes is we actually call the bank and say, if I was to get a loan, how much would you charge me for this?
Exactly.
Or if we're in the market for a new car, they have amazing rates. They might be 2% or something like that. We still want that money coming back to us.
Yes. Yeah. And it's simple as that. And they'll give us a range over the phone. Oh, well, it's between 3 or 5%. And then we know that that gives us our gauge on how we should start charging ourselves.
Yes. And we charge ourselves the maximum amount that we would have paid to someone else. Now, there comes a question sometimes where, okay, if I want to pay myself 25% or 30% or some outrageous interest rate, that's totally up to you. But what only thing we're trying to do is we want you to do the exact same thing you would have done, say you got that from a third party.
Yeah, because the idea out of the gate is to do what you're comfortable with. So you may not want to start immediately just charging yourself 20, 25%, maybe back that down to 10, be consistent with it. And then when it makes sense for you to turn up the heat as far as how much interest you're charging yourself, then go there. We want to make sure that first and foremost, you're consistent and you have realistic rates that you can keep up with so that you're not your own loan shark.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. If there's going to be a loan shark, let it be yourself.
Nothing wrong with that. I see people are joining us. I'm so glad that you have joined us. If you have put comments and questions in the chat, I don't know where our chat box went. So just bear with me. I'm trying to bring it back, but I don't know where it went. So we are not ignoring you if you are sending us messages. My chat box just went away. So hang tight for me.
So bear with us because this is the second time that we're doing a YouTube live. So we're still trying to understand it.
Work out the kinks.
And it's the same way with infinite banking. You try it until you get a good understanding of it. And then once you get better at it, then you continue to get better. You continue to level up.
Nice feed. I like that, Darius.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's going to be bumpy at first, but it's going to get better.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I must have I am so sorry, guys. We came live to you so that we could interact and have a live conversation with you and have live dialogue, but I completely threw our chat box away and I cannot bring it back up, but it will be better next time. I promise.
So the moral of the story is borrow from your insurance policy,
Yes.
Pay yourself back, only borrow what you would have borrowed from the bank.
Exactly. Yeah. For those of you just joining us, the topic today is how much interest should you charge yourself? So we're saying don't get so caught up in the nitty gritty trying to figure out what the numbers are. Just call the bank and figure out what they're charging for personal loans, for credit cards, all sorts of things, and use those same numbers to charge yourself.
Yes. And the reason why we created a video in the past talking about a segregated account. And the reason we like the segregated account is because we can reuse that money to lend back to ourselves and pay ourselves interest multiple times on the same amount of money.
Exactly. So with that, if you have questions, leave them on the comments as soon as we post this video. We love to interact with all of our subscribers. Thank you so much for your support and your questions and your engagement. It really challenges Darius and I to make sure that we provide you as much value as we possibly can with infinite banking. And we're just so excited to be able to tap into a community of people who are constantly trying to level up. So thank you all so much for your time today. And if you want to keep up with what Darius and I are doing, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at wealthnation.io.
And remember to own your own lifestyle,
or someone else will.